Rick vs. the Doctor is an episode I was excited for, but not really for the characters themselves, more so because I wanted to see what they would actually do with this kind of matchup, because there's a lot. But on the contrary, both Cap and Jaden were really hyped for this one, given that both are massive Whovians. Nerds. So, I was really happy for them, that one of their favorite series was getting on the show for the first time. Jaden especially, given that this is one of his most wanted matchups of all time. Pretty sure it was like in the top 3 actually. Man, I really hope one of my top 3 most wanted matches of all time with 2 characters from 2 series that I really adore comes about next year. That'd be really cool. Anyway, what I think of Rick vs. the Doctor. Well, I am kinda tired of doing the same, well, let's find out routine. So I'm just gonna say that I thought the episode was really good, but I feel like I lacked the attachment to these two, made it so that they're not personally one of my favorites of the season, but as of right now, it's pretty high up in the ranks. So without any sort of bias or stakes in this matchup, let's see how this episode stands on its own. The analyses aren't personally one of my favorite rundown portions of the season, but they're still really fun. I love them going over their traumas, their gadgets. I love Boomstick going British for a hot minute there, as well as Wiz's jab at it. I love Boomstick saying nuh-uh, because that's something me and my IRL friends do. And I love the editing. Oh my lord, the editing. Max did some work for Scooby vs. Courage with some help from DJ, but this was his first time doing a solo project for the show, and boy did he do a really great job. Of course, with these two having few still images that he can work around, with given that they're mainly TV shows with a few comics under their belt, there wasn't many points he could, but the few times he was able to show off these cool editing tricks and stuff, he does it amazingly. He's such a talented editor, and I'm so happy that he was able to get work on a show that he loves. Hoping he sticks around for seasons to come. Man, he just really sparked something in me. I'd love to learn how to do versus edits like this. I might try some more advanced editing techniques soon. Heck, maybe I'll try editing together some mock analysis portions. Just for fun, or something. Maybe. I don't know. It's really cool that these two were able to get covered. As with Chosenborn and a few others, these two series may never get a chance to appear on the show again. So, it's cool that we were able to get some really great rundowns here. Also, I'm pretty sure that it was the first adult Western animated property, as well as the first live-action TV-born character as well. So, that's cool. It is a little off-putting that the Doctor's analysis is like 7-8 minutes long while Rick's is only 5. But I mean, it is Doctor Who, so I get it. And plus, it is already the longest episode we've had all year, so I get it doubly. I just kinda wish they talked about Rick for a bit longer. But it's still a solid rundown, so I'm not complaining. Now for the fight, I was not expecting this episode to be hand-drawn, especially after the massive hand-drawn project of Peak. But, I mean, they were made by 2 completely different teams, so it's not anything hard to believe. Just unexpected. But I'm really glad that this was able to get that treatment, because this looks stunning. Not anything distinctly or specifically impressive looking, it just looks all around visually pleasing. The models are very expressive and fluid. People say that there is some jank in the fight, but personally I can't notice any single shot that looks awkward or off-putting, at least not anything that doesn't look intended or fitting. I'll admit, I wasn't too sure of the Doctor's look in the preview, but that was probably because we only saw like 5 seconds of it there. Seeing more of it in action, it gives off perfectly the Doctor's personality and expressions. I love all of his little facial movements, such as when he's looking at the screaming sun, his sudden shock and fear when he sees the weeping angels, and when he hesitates when reaching for the D-mat. On that note, I really love his character here. I'll get to Rick in a minute, but I just really enjoyed this version of the Doctor. If I remember correctly, the one they used in the animation was meant to resemble the 14th Doctor. However, there are some lines and other things that are found throughout multiple eras of the character, such as the little Sharp's remark, and fantastic line. God, that was terrible. I just really like how his character was portrayed. As the non-confrontational, kind-hearted soul, who is still willing to do whatever it takes to keep going. Even if it means he has to straight up lie to Rick when both of their lives are on the line due to the Weeping Angels. Also, on an unrelated note, I'm just really happy they added in the Weeping Angels here, since they're like one of the only things that I actually know about Doctor Who, and plus they're genuinely one of the most interesting fictional monsters to me. I don't know, just how scary they are in Blink and the nightmare situation of them being around just piques my interest a whole lot. Okay, sorry, back on track. My love for the Doctor's portrayal is based upon the performance of Elliot Crossley, which makes sense given that he's apparently done a lot of Doctor Who related stuff in the past. He reminds me a lot of Stephen Kelly's performance of Bond, James Bond last season, mainly because they're British, but also because of the jokey, confident, and quick-thinking types both are. I especially love his ending monologue about how he has a PhD and Rick doesn't, and that he can just screw off. I just fell in love with the Doctor's character here. I love how he treated the TARDIS, with concern for when Rick hits it with a grappling hook, and praising it when it switches rooms around and traps Rick on the other side. It's just kinda nice. A+ character here. Now, with Rick, I don't have as much to say. Not that I don't like his character or portrayal here, because I really do. Brent Williams gives a dead-on performance of the guy. Definitely gives off the drunkard, smart-aleck a-hole type to a T. Or, I guess the nihilist know-it-all as described by Mr. Who. I especially love his first little spiel, as well as when he corners the Doctor and says that he has a grandson waiting on him, showing that he genuinely does care for Morty. Also shown by the fact that he told the ship to keep Morty safe after he went to go fight the Doctor, while also taking a quick gulp of alcohol and burping in true Rick Sanchez fashion. Both got excellent portrayals in this animation, and I'm so glad that both got shown so much love. Besides that, yeah, this animation is just stupid fun. I love the chase at the beginning, the sword on spoon fight, and the climax. Though admittedly the death is just a little bit lame. Though with the rest of the fight being this cool, I can give it a pass. It's all helped by the amazing score. Wubba Lubba Alonzi is a really great breath of fresh air. Sure, I love lyrical tracks, but we just got 5 in a row. I think that we needed a good atmospheric track. And even without backup singers, the music is still really catchy, with its climatic themes and classic sci-fi feels. It's just really nice sounding. All the backgrounds look fantastic, especially the arcade with all its lights and references. I love the creative uses the two have with their gadgets, and I especially adore the ending with the Doctor telling Morty that he has a bright future ahead of him before leaving with a catchphrase that I'm assuming is a Doctor Who staple, with Rick as a ghost appearing telling that Morty better not forget him or else he'll haunt him. But since the DMAT erases you from time and memory, Morty already did. God bless his soul. Funny, isn't it? The idea that Potato King had for Scooby vs. Courage, where one combatant turns into a cartoonish ghost at the end, happened in the episode right after. The post-analysis was also really noteworthy. It went super in-depth, and I love when post-analyses do that. My only real problem is that I wish they used a bit more gadgets, but I mean, quality over quantity, so whatever. While I didn't necessarily have, anything in this episode from a personal perspective, this was still a really great time, and I'm really glad with Kat being a big Doctor Who fan, and with Jaden having this as one of his most wanted of all time, that they were able to get a really fun and awesome episode that had a ton of love poured into both series. I really hope that I'm able to get an episode like that next season. That would be really cool. Seriously, man, Death Battle can't keep getting away with this. I mean, banger after banger after banger. There's 0 disappointments in sight. At this rate, they might have to announce Goku vs. Superman 3 to bring up that controversy. Oh, right, that wasn't a dream. Well, what do I think of this? If you want my full thoughts on it happening, go watch our reaction, but in short, I am not disappointed in the slightest. Heck, I'm actually really excited for this. But yeah, doing Goku vs. Superman for a third time isn't exactly piquing my interest a whole lot. I don't really see the point of doing this from a debate side of things, because I'm just gonna be frank. Goku stands very little chance against Superman. That's nothing against him at all. Superman is just him, bro. But seeing the same guy win for a third time might be a bit anticlimactic. I am rooting for Superman, but that fact is actually kind of making me worried for him. So maybe that's kind of a point for this being debatable, but like a very little one. Now, the real reason I'm excited for this is because it's their chance to finally do something new with this matchup. There wasn't much they could change with the second, given how recent it was to the first. Plus, Death Battle works much differently now. You're a fool if you think that this is gonna be more of the same. Heck, they're actually compositing it this time. They can finally show just how much people from in and out of the show's crew love these characters, as they've been doing with every episode this year. They can finally get character portrayal right, as that's something Death Battle takes way more seriously than they did before. There's so much good for doing this episode, with just some things keeping it back from me being really excited. Still though, I am hyped for it. And also, if Goku vs. frickin' Superman isn't the finale, then what the heck is? With that, I'd like to thank you for watching this review, and I'd like to thank you in general, as well as thank my friends, because it's Thanksgiving when I'm recording this, so happy Thanksgiving. You could probably hear in the background, but I do have a lot of family over right now, and I want to get back to that, so yeah, I'm gonna try and get this out quickly. I hope you all had a great time spending it with family, eating pizza, and going back in time, huh? Love you guys. Make sure you check out Capsirus' review and our reaction. Follow me on Twitter, vote for Peak, and yeah. Spam Capsirus' comments with British jokes.